Here we are with our breakaway. They are on their way to the final, the last bit of cobbles. That is at 3 kilometers from the finish line. It seems like peace has returned to our breakaway for the time being, with Stan de Wulf leading at the moment in the colours of AG2R, followed by Victor Kampenaerts, Dries de Bond, Jasper Stuyven and Jente Biermans, who might actually be the fastest man in this group.
And you can see where he's been able to save his energy, and he's just been letting the others do their thing with the attacks, counter-attacks, lots of accelerations, and he's just been able to quietly follow these moves and almost go under the radar a little bit. And we see that he's got a few of his teammates also ready should this all come back together as we start the penultimate cobble section of Côte de Nonette. This is the rough section where you can see the gradients upwards of 5, 6, 7% at its maximum. You see all the riders trying to pick their lines here. Oh, you can almost feel the pain in Kampenaerts' legs trying to get that gear turned over.
He has one front ring. It's all about aerodynamics. You don't have a derailleur. You only have one ring, and due to the hub that he has in the rear wheel, it actually mimics having two front rings. But yeah, it does make for really interesting viewing, and it's still allowed for the time being. They might change it, they might not at the UCI technical HQ. But it looks like he has trouble following the pace when it comes to these accelerations, these changes in tempo. But if he puts on one really well-timed attack going into the Rue de Bellevue, yeah, why not? Now, finally, Team DSM are bunny hopping their way towards the front with Pavel Bittner. He has, of course, the Lotto Destiny rider wants the motorbike to move up. And there goes Dries de Bond. This is what he does all the time. And Jasper Stuyven knows it. And he's won races solo as well. Jasper Stuyven, Kuhne, Brussel, Kuhn, of course, Milan San Remo, holding off that peloton with Caleb Ewan. And he knows Dries de Bond. They have known each other for so many years. And it's up to Stan de Wulf now to close the gap.
Just waiting for that perfect moment. You can see there's a slight incline in the road. Only 3, 4, 5 at its maximum, 6%. And he just made sure that he timed that one. We've done this circuit already on 4 occasions. He knows that this would be a good moment to try and split things up. And another rider who he doesn't want to take the other 4 riders to the finish. He really wants to split things up here. As we see at the...
And at the end of the race, Hannah, every little bit of gradient really adds up, does it? You know, it might not seem much, you know, on the first laps, like 2-3% who does care, but it might just be
really starts
that
to
little
bite.
launching pad that gets you to the front there.
It really starts to bite, and it's the accumulation of such an attritional race. We've had 1,700 meters of elevation over the 206 kilometers of racing, and when you throw in those cobble sectors, whilst they're not a defining part of the race, they certainly are a contributing factor. And when we've also seen the weather conditions, as we start to see some cooperation be lost from this front group. 2 of the Team DSM riders, they've peeled off and left their sprinter Alberto Dainese, the 24-year-old Italian, almost isolated. They're completely spent at this point. They've done such a long, hard chase that who's got something left?
Yeah, it's now a little group there attacking from the peloton, but there was just a very short turn there by DSM, and it got them 5 seconds closer, maybe. Also, you know, testament of the strength of our race leaders. Oh, this is actually the race lead. This is less than 15 seconds.
This is definitely less than 15 seconds. Wow.
All of a sudden, they're almost there. I didn't see this one coming.
Well, it certainly explains that DSM have completely emptied the tank with 2 of their riders who were doing the chasing, and they've brought it down to a gap that's so close. It's almost striking distance. And you can see more injection, more pace put into this front group. At the moment, is this the team of Team Flanders Balwaarder.
Doing the work there with Alex Coleman. This is a fantastic helicopter shot, by the way. It's still not over for our breakaway. They still have the option, and they just attack each other. 6 kilometers, and Dries de Bont, he tries again. This is what he does best. This is how he won big races in the past. A little flick of the elbow there for Victor Kampenaerts. And you can see the difference also in cadence between Kampenaerts and Dries de Bont. Kampenaerts is, of course, the power man, the former world hour record holder. The handle, the levers all the way turned in. Dries de Bont to be very aerodynamic within the rule book of the UCI. 5 kilometers, Hannah, and you think, okay, the peloton is coming back, but I'm still not 100% sure.
Well, it's almost touch and go, isn't it? One more rider on the front at the moment. This is Casper van Uerden on the front for Team DSM. There is Dainese sitting in third wheel. Sorry, there's Sean Flynn as well. But whilst it came within striking distance of around less than 10 seconds, it started to go out again. And when you start to lose that cooperation, I mean, they've got the breakaway of 5 in their sights, and they're going into a headwind at the moment. So it makes it incredibly difficult for the breakaway, because this is the race win on the line for them. Whereas those in the peloton, or what is left of it, this reduced peloton, they've got some riders to spend to really put all their eggs into the basket of their leader.
Well, it looks like we do have a regrouping at the front right now. Our 5 leaders almost caught with 4K to go. Yeah, we are starting again. Dainese, one of the strong and fast riders in that first group. We have recognized him. I think Moschetti is also still part of this first group. And looking through the peloton right now, Kasper Asgreen, of course, he's done a lot of work. I think Moschetti is indeed still in this group. He is isolated, though, the Q36.5 rider. So this might be a fantastic opportunity for the likes of Alberto Dainese.
Great opportunity, but also means, because he's got 2 teammates still there with him in Van Uerden and Flynn, still got that protection. You can see Sean Flynn on the right hand side. He's constantly talking to Dainese. Dainese giving the young neo-pro some instructions. There is a former winner, Hugo Hofstetter, 43 of Arkea Samsic in the red jersey.
Jente Biermans, of course. We also still have a number 45, Le Danois, and Mozzato is doing a lot of work for the Arkea team. Over and out for Stan de Wulf. Get a little bit of recognition there from his teammates. And we go into the final. The right-hand turn onto the Rue de Bellevue is coming up, and Trek Segafredo is taking command, going into that final turn onto the Rue de Bellevue, the cobbled sector that is coming up. The kilometers seem to be off just a little bit. It should be right around the corner.
Right turn. They've done that double left. They take the right-hand turn, and then now they're onto the Rue de Bellevue.
And of course, this is an opportunity to ride away. And if you're just in the second half of the peloton, you are a little bit too far back. The Israel Premitic rider we still have at the front might be Nizzolo. And there is an attack from number 11, Søren Kragh Andersen. He already identified this race. He's as one of his spring classics, and this is a very clever move. We have seen it before today in the women's race, followed by Dan Holer there, the rider for Trek Segafredo, going to that rear wheel. We have Mozzato as well involved in this move, doing a lot of work today. He's got a fantastic day. Luca Mozzato, the Italian rider, and then the remainder of the Trek Segafredo team getting to the front there. Very strong team performance for the team led by Teutenberg.
One rider from Team DSM has just latched himself onto the back of that group as well, but strength in depth from Trek Segafredo. It's so impressive the way that they have always had riders to cover all of the moves throughout the whole of the day, and it's left to Asgreen in the background to try and bridge across once again. He has been isolated today, but he's lost his fast teammate Fabio Jakobsen. They make that right-hand turn. Now it's that long straight road all the way towards the finish line, and well, there's no cooperation from behind to do any chasing. There is Moschetti.
It's like a Trek Segafredo team time trial today with Mozzato as well. We have Edward Teuns there, Dan Hole, and I assume then it would be Vacek possibly doing the work at the front. It looks like Dainese is part of this group as well, or fast Italian. 46 Mozzato. Don't underestimate the Italian sprinter. With 52, indeed, it's Dainese and Askren just managing to get back to the front together with number 94, Milan Menten, who's a strong and fast rider as well. So we have a few fast riders and the peloton really giving everything. But look at how impressive the display here is for the Trek Segafredo team with, I think, Edward Teuns there in third position.
They're going to do everything now to deter anybody from being able to bridge across to this move. They have the numbers to be and the resources to be able to use up into this final 1.2 kilometers, and it really forces the other teams. It's going to be touch and go as to whether it all comes back together at the moment. At the moment, it's one of the riders from Uno X Pro Cycling who's also missed the move. This is number 133, Martin Orienstad.
Dries de Bont bridging across. We see Kampenaerts again. Number 64, of course, is Jasper Stuyven. And also 51, Pavel Bittner is there. Of course, he's got his teammate at the front as we are approaching the final kilometer. And it looks like Orienstad is making sure that they get back. Ooh, a little bit of shoulder barging there between the AG2R rider and Uno X. They might have Halverson here still in the group. And that is, of course, a fast rider, the former under-23 world champion. Still a little bit of a gap there, but it's not much to speak of as Mozzato is moving to the front. There it is, the junction with Hugo Hofstetter, the winner of... not the winner, of course, the runner-up last year and the winner of 2020, moving to the front now. Hugo Hofstetter is trying to get onto that Trek Segafredo train. Really impressive display on the wheel of his teammate Mozzato.
You can see just, there's a crash there.
There goes Askren and the Bont.
Askren's out.
It's not a lucky day for Soudal.
Not a good day for Soudal.
There we go with the sprint, a really long sprint there by Alberto Dainese. Dan Hole is leading out Edward Teuns. We have Mozzato. We have Arkea Samsic with also Hugo Hofstetter. This is a really, really hard sprint. Fantastic work there by Edward Teuns. We have with number 94, Milan Menten getting to the front. Is it going to be Milan Menten? Another win for Lotto Destiny. What a fantastic start to the season for Lotto Destiny. Milan Menten is another winner. His second pro win only. He won that stage at a Crow race 2 years ago. But that was rather impressive from Milan Menten. And what a cursed weekend for Soudal Quickstep. And for Askren, missing out the opening weekend after illness. Jacobsen crashed out. And I think they got caught on the ridge of death, as you call it.
Heartbreak, absolute heartbreak from Askren to miss opening weekend due to sickness. This is how it happened. A touch of wheels, the overlap to the rider from Team DSM, and fortunately it takes down Dries de Bont of Alpecin de Koning at the same time. But so unfortunate for Kasper Askren.
What a day for Soudal Quickstep there with Wilfried Peters, Iljo Keizer and Milan Menten. Yeah, that was a pretty impressive sprint from the man from Limburg. So that is in the east part of Belgium.
Ik dacht ik schouder uit te komen, doe een handen in de lucht staan.
He has actually hurt his shoulder while celebrating, Hannah.
Well, it's not a bad problem to have. It's not a bad problem to have, I have to say. There was Fredrik Vliesen as well, but
well, Milan Menten wins the race for Lotto Destiny.
En ik kom mijn handen en ik zo duwt erin. Oh ja, gewoon perfect scenario, gewoon niks moeten doen heel laat.
Well, we don't have to translate that, but before that he said this is a perfect scenario. I haven't done anything. I didn't have to do it.
Milan Menten starts to open up. He comes alongside former winner Hugo Hofstetter. He gets out there alongside Mozzato. comes alongside the rider from Trek Segafredo, Edwin Turns, and just he comes with so much speed, so much power. He waits until that last moment to really get out, and he really forced his way out when he started to get boxed in. It's a brilliant victory for the 26-year-old. Disappointment for Turns.
Yeah, he doesn't get an awful lot of opportunity.